This is Intellytech's new RGBW panel, and it's very exciting. It's a testament to how far lighting has come over the past decade. But I'm wondering, do we even need RGB? Remember in 2015 when Westcott debuted their flexible LED panel? It was incredible. A 10 by 10 inch panel that cost $600. Now, soon after, Intellytech came out with their own version that was twice the size, bi-color, and for about the same price. That got me hooked on flexible LEDs. And I'm not the only one. Peter Hurley, Lee, and Patrick all love their Westcott panels, and B&H even has its own section now. So, how does this new RGB panel hold up? If you're not familiar with this kind of light, you can expect a very portable kit that takes a little longer to set up. They can usually plug into an outlet or take a V-mount battery and produce a bright, soft light in a pinch. Color accuracy is good enough and you can wirelessly control it. This also allows for DMX input. At the start of this year, we reviewed the Falconeyes RX-24TDX.
If we turn on this panel, you can see just how much brighter it is.
I have it right here, and as you can see, it's not as shiny and new anymore. The biggest problem is that it rolls up, not folds up. So a couple months ago, I found myself needing to pack it, and I couldn't bring the big tube that it comes with. So I had to just fold it. I'm sure you're not supposed to do this, but I had no other choice. It was the only way. I mean, what's the point of a portable light if you can't fit it anywhere? What I like about Intellytech's solution is that they've just put a seam down the middle. You lose a little bit of light output, but you gain a lot of functionality. Now, it's worth noting that this light is foldable, not flexible, so it's a little bit different to what Falconeyes and Westcott are doing. One of the best features of a foldable LED panel is that it's insanely portable. This is all you need for 2 lights, and you can even get this into a roller bag. If you were pushing it, you could fit one into a backpack, but remember that you'll need a light stand. Because it's more rigid, they can cut down on the size of the softbox and the bracket compared to the Falconeyes. And it also means that I don't tear the corners, like I've done with the Falconeyes. Intellytech does give you a robust flight case, and I recommend using it, but it's nice to know that you can cram it into a tight space if you need. You also don't need to pack any gels with this light. You can just dial in the RGB values or use one of the presets. Unfortunately, there are only 9 presets and none of them are popular gels. The brick is smaller than some others and the controls are easy to get used to, but I wouldn't trust the handle. It's popped out a couple of times. So what about the quality of the light? Testing CRI and white balance of a couple lights shows us that LED technology is not perfect. The color rendering index, or CRI, will tell us how accurate the light makes colors appear to be. Each light was tested with a Sekonic C700 from a meter away, with the included diffusion and at full brightness. CRI is a score out of 100. Anything above 90 should be fine. I double-checked every reading, so here's the results. First up, the Falconeyes. The CRI was pretty respectable, with R9 and skin tone values hitting pretty high in both tungsten and daylight modes. However, the blues at R12 suffered and the white balance wasn't perfect, especially at 5600 Kelvin. And as far as I know, the RGBW version of this light hits R9 at about 65 to 70 CRI, which is not great. Next, we have Intellytech's FL-80 1x2 foot bicolor panel. At tungsten, the CRI was actually really high. Unfortunately, what was meant to be 3200 Kelvin was actually 2800. Then at daylight, what was meant to be 5600 Kelvin was actually 4100, which is miles off. Bear in mind that the included diffusion with this light is a little bit flimsy. You can add on a softbox, and that's usually how these lights blend colors together.
Then it hit me. I needed to add color to my life.
Now, how does the RGB panel hold up? Unfortunately, 3200 Kelvin came in at around 3000 Kelvin. 5600 came in at 4900. Now, CRI was high for both of these, but the deep blues did suffer. The panel's white light is a combination of 3000 Kelvin and 10,000 Kelvin LEDs. Now, the 3000 Kelvin LEDs came in at 2900, which was pretty reasonable. Unfortunately, the R9 CRI suffered badly. The 10,000 Kelvin read as 8500 Kelvin, and the CRI was just all over the place. I can't imagine needing to match anything to 10,000K, but it's still frustrating. This panel uses a separate array of RGB LEDs, which means that you can bring the red, green, and blue values all the way up and get white light. Unfortunately, you would think that this would give you more output, but the CRI is all over the place, and the white balance comes out at 6600 Kelvin. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to test TLCI, which is like CRI, but it focuses on what a camera sensor actually sees. Now, in all fairness, I think CRI will still give us a decent perception of what's going on. If I was to try and match this to, say, a tungsten light, I would try and use a spectrometer or at least a color chart, because it's very difficult to just dial in the RGB values. The colors here match up nearly perfectly to the rest of the range. This is actually how I shot the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera review. So, should you buy this light? It's fun to have on set and it's super handy, but I probably wouldn't go buying like 2 or 3 of them. I personally would prefer to buy 1 or 2 bicolor lights and then add this on. As far as RGBW panels go, I don't think this beats the efforts of like ARRI or Westcott. I mean, the ARRI Sky panel is a dream to work with, and Westcott's version of this comes with a color matching app.
So the RGBW LiteCloth might not be the most color accurate panel out there, but it's more than good enough for most people. The benefits are obvious. Intellytech is selling us an affordable and portable lighting kit that makes it easy to get gorgeous light.
The 2x2 kit from Intellytech costs about the same as the 1x2 panel from Westcott without any extras. If you need portability and you don't want to spend $5,000 on your kit, and you're not going to be matching this to any other types of lights, then it is perfect.